Hello there, guys. Welcome back to Reborn with Michael. I've gone through another ego death over the last few weeks, and it's been really great. And I'm going to talk about what ego deaths are. And when I say great, uncomfortable, but it's a great thing because we're on a constant journey of growth. The whole purpose of life is expansion. Now we're living in a times where there is a lot going on in our outside world, various wars, various things like this. There may be a lot going on in your inner world too, in your smaller world, but it's okay. And one of the things I need you to realize, if you are someone who has created things in your life, you are truly in belief of manifestation. This is a big mistake that we tend to make. We tend to actually think that we take responsibility for the manifestations. And when I've becoming more and more deeper into the idea of letting go and surrender, I realized that nothing that I've achieved is actually through me. It channels through me, but it's not because of me. And I think that is the best, most wonderful thing you can ever realize. I don't care what problem you're facing right now. I've had that ego death where it felt like my problems were huge, and I'm still dealing with the ramifications of an ego death. It's a very interesting thing. An ego death is where you have made decisions, you have created some form of something in your life that you're proud of, and you forget to give it all to God. You've forgotten to give it all up to the divine. So you've taken responsibility in it some way, which means when it needs to go to the next level or you need to make a change, you take responsibility in that too, and you keep searching outside of yourself for the answer. So it brings up anxiety, it brings up fear, it brings up doubts, it brings up pain. And I'm going to tell you, no matter what problem you're facing, you've got to give it to God. No matter what success you've had, you've got to give it to God. Or however you see that divine presence, you must give it over. And there's something interesting about that, because when you stop taking responsibility for the good, you also can give over responsibility of the bad, because that means that everything that happens to you is done through creation, through guidance. And the true art of surrender is surrendering to that infinite intelligence that literally knows all. I mean, why would I know better than God? Why would I have the solution better than God? Now, you can go into the world and you can interact with the physical world and make some progress, but it always comes at a price. It comes at a price. That's why I think sometimes manifestation, we get a bit sidetracked because we start to pray to, different things and different entities and all this, and we start to ask for things. And there was an interesting story that I heard another great person say. He said, "Oh, my friend, wanted to manifest £5,000, and he was a house clearer, and he decided to manifest it. He just intended it, and he created it through intention, but he wasn't creating it through an essence of connectiveness through divine godlike presence that he knew was all loving and all knowing. He was doing it through the universe knows, or this and it was mainly not directed to a known place. So what happened was it manifested. He was actually clearing a house. He found £10,000, but it wasn't his, it was someone else's. So if he was to take the 5,000, he would have had to do it in a almost sinful way, steal it. What I've started to realize is when you surrender to God and you give it all over to God, it comes to you in divine order and divine time. That's why I like using these phrases. Any problem that you need solving can come to you in divine order and divine time. And how do we get to that place where we surrender to God? And he just says it. And so this ego death of mine, God says, "Come to me, all who are weary. Be still and know that I am God." And know my name, sorry. And the name is the nature of things. It is the I am. So you have to remember that the you under all of this is how if you get still within your presence, you can start to connect with God. And you can start to have all of your needs met. Because there's this interesting thing when you stop trying and you need nothing, where everything starts to come. And so if you are facing a problem, It's not about getting a solution so you can feel better. That's what's causing you pain. It's about letting go of the need and the want of the thing and realizing that you are full and whole, perfectly underneath all of it anyway. So I implore you guys, and I beg you to go and start to let go of your problems. Give them over to God. You can repeat this in your mind regularly. I give this over to God now, knowing that it is revitalized and renewed. Everything, all my needs are met in divine order and divine time. I'm willing to let go. And it's time to let go. Okay? So there's a part of you that notices that your intention. This ego death of mine was, I started to almost see things in my life have blocks, impediments and delays because I started to disconnect from the true creational force, and I started to think that it was because of me. So if you're finding blocks and impediments in your life, or you're seeing delays, it's because you think you are the only answer. But it never meant that in manifestation. You see, you, the real you, the I amness within you, is the consciousness, is the connectiveness within you that needs nothing and wants nothing. That's the you that has the answer. Okay? The egoic self that says, I'm going to manifest a big house and £1 million a month and a da-da-da-da-da, that's ego. It's not essential. There's nothing wrong with having it. There's nothing wrong with that desire. But as we start to detach back from needing that desire, then God starts to bless you in all ways because you're truly connected to him. Because you have to think about it. On the seventh day he rested. He said there was nothing left to be done. Creation is done. He also says, I am the giver and the gift. So the I amness within you is all things. It's the gift, it's the giver, it's all things. There is nothing that you need right now except to connect with that part of you deeply and lovingly and knowingly. And that's where I've got to today. And man, I'm telling you, it doesn't have to be painful for all people awakening, but sometimes it is. And to awaken is to realize that your needs are, and manifestation is the secondary part of all of this. So if you've come to manifestation, like, you know, I had someone who come to me who said, I want to change my height, I want to change my appearance. And I say, well, all things are possible. But if you really connect with the I amness, you realize I don't need any of that. I mean, it's just egoic wanting to be a certain way. And I sort of detach back from that stuff now. Now, growing in business, growing in love, saving relationships, healing the body, that's where we're at. That's what we want to be doing. If your manifestation is simply, I want to have blue eyes, it's like we need to really work on detaching back and realizing that you're perfect now. If your manifestation is, I really like that girl behind the coffee bar, it's like, that's great. But you can have her if you desire. But love yourself first and they will come. Connect back to not needing that person to feel better and they will come. It's the same with anything else. You're trying to heal, let go of the need for health, connect to the total wholeness of you, and you'll feel so whole that your body can't help but respond. You're needing monetary help, realize that God is the giver and the gift. Detach back. Don't look for the answer now. Realize that you have the answer in you, and it is that feeling of oneness, and you will manifest wonders in your life. Thanks, guys.